Going on here, guys? I'm doing more experiments with the transmitter in high power mode, and I observed some strange effects. When I say high power, I don't usually run it over 50 watts. We're at 32 watts. Set the power supply back up for finer testing. Basically, what I discovered is, now I wasn't able to do this before, but I'm able to run a halogen light bulb, a 150 watt halogen light bulb, maybe at a little under half intensity. And it's being run from the receiver coil. And what I did to have that run, like, I should have filmed this effect before I soldered it, but I don't want to get too close because it'll shut off the camera if I get too close to the transmitter. But all I did was I added a wire, this wire, which shorts out my extra bottom coil right to where the circuit, all the connections in the circuit terminate. So it's a heavily modified Slayer circuit with negative resistance built in. Basically, once I short it out, hopefully you can see that. The bottom of that extra coil is shorted out to where all of the other connections in the circuit terminate to get the circuit to oscillate. I'll add this connection to my PDF, to the PDF and the circuit diagram. But anyway, what's interesting is it adds a lot more current to a receiver when you do that. I'm not sure why that occurs, but adding that short there increases the current in a receiver, improves the energy efficiency of the transmitter, and I should probably cut that and demonstrate that. I might do that, I'm not sure. And basically what occurs is the radiant energy effects become more phenomenal. I'm also trying to do something where we decouple the cause from the effect with this system, where the loads that are run from the transmitter don't put a drain on it. Like, we're trying to decouple charge from effect, and I think I can demonstrate that. So look how far away I have this receiver coil, and as you know, there's nothing in it. It's an empty receiver coil. Those are resonant caps on it. Here's my little bulb. That's a halogen. It's a 12 volt, 5 watt halogen lit to about maybe 1 watt. And I earth grounded it into the DC power supply, but I don't have to. Just doing that would make it a little brighter. So, as you see, it is still lit. And if you can't earth ground it, if you make the earth wire long enough, it would act as a capacitive antenna to the earth and still cause the load to light. So, that light is lit dimly. The interesting thing I want to film is when I disconnect this halogen load from the receiver, my power consumption increases. How strange is that? Hopefully you can see that effect. And I'm filming everything one-handed, so things are kind of fighting me. And that bulb is hot. I can't really touch that. I don't know why everything is so irritating when I film one-handed. Of course, it's stuck on something. I don't want to do any cuts in the video because some people are like, "Oh, you're hiding something." It's like, no, nothing's hidden. This is real electrical engineering. Like, I built a serious company off this, and it keeps growing, thankfully. So I'm gonna have to disconnect this for a minute. And I've had other researchers see this and test this, and it's all just science. So anyway, our load's lit back up again. Receiver sits just on these plates. I believe they're old mirrors, just so I could get it level with the transmitter. They're just mirrors. And as usual, I earth grounded the L2 of the receiver through a capacitor, which is a blocking device. Prevents detuning. And something shorted out. Yeah, that sucks. The transistor just blew. I think I touched one of the outputs of the receiver coil to the base and shorted something out, so I killed the transistor. I have to replace it. I was doing a lot of heavy experimenting. Basically what was occurring here is I was separating cause from effect. There was a decoupling action occurring. If you get a receiver just far enough away to the point where it's barely in the field of the transmitter, and you earth ground its L2 through a capacitor, you'll be able to run loads essentially without putting any form of drain on the transmitter. That was the effect I was exploring. I took the transmitter off. In my last video, I had a self-sustaining generator. It worked great for 2 days. No issue. I just took everything apart because I'm constantly going to upgrade it. And I'm going to make it better. I was doing more refinements on the transmitter. That board is over here. So I think this generator board is in the middle of being upgraded. I'm going to get a more efficient inverter, silent, probably pure sine wave. The super cap that ran it is on that board. So I'm going to make this board more efficient. And yeah, it shouldn't at all be impossible to make generators that are extremely powerful, that can run factories, that could sit on a board about this size. And what these devices do is they kind of act like energy cyclotrons. And for example, if you design a system to output, say, 50 or 100 watts, what will occur is when the energy runs through the load, then back into the system, you're not technically gaining free energy. You built the system to pump 100 watts, and depending on how you earth ground it, you're not going to be able to get more than 100 watts. So what occurs is the energy flows through the load and back into itself to keep itself going. And depending on how you earth ground it, you can extract more reactive power out of the device, so it essentially becomes self-sustaining, and you still have wireless power. So that's basically how it works. It acts like a heat pump, where a heat pump can move larger amounts of energy, or larger amounts of heat with a small amount of energy. Then that heat can be converted to electricity, and you would technically have over unity there. What most people don't understand or get are what most of the mainstream institutions push incorrectly about over unity is when you have simple electrical systems. Like, yes, over unity is not possible with just electricity. You have to have it go through some kind of conversion process, and the conversion process can be renewable, and then through that conversion process it goes back to electricity, and it forms a cycle. It's cyclic, like a cyclotron. And they absolutely do not account for that. They purposely leave that out to keep people in the dumb about it. They don't want you to know about it. So basically what occurs is, in my case, I'm converting electricity to a high frequency magnetic pulse, a radio wave. It's a magnetic pulse radio wave. I'm converting DC electricity to a magnetic pulsed radio wave, and then the receivers convert it back to DC electricity through the fast, rapid switching Schottky diodes, which is on that receiver. And by the combination of the way we ground the bottom of the L2, we extract equal power out from the transmitter, if not a little more, because we go through that conversion process of one form of energy to the other. And in the conversion process, we get a gain. So our transition medium is renewable, which is good, and it can be electrically powered. So that's how that works. It's just science. There's nothing quackus or hocus pocus about it. Simple physics, getting down to the original forms of electrical engineering, not the modern crap. That's all convoluted, and all this electron theory that's just got way out of control. That only accounts for about a quarter of electrical engineering. Electron theory does not account for any form of radiant energy effects, back EMF, that sort of stuff. Science likes to just focus like a laser point on just one form of energy and just stay there and not evolve, but we know why. But yeah, that's that. I don't really like to rant in videos, but I basically just explain the science. of how it worked. And the generator board's being upgraded, so it should be back up and running in a week or two. 3 weeks at worst, because I have a lot of upgrades planned. Some stuff I have is a little slow on shipping. It's been crazy. I work a full-time job. I also do this as a side business. And thankfully this is growing, and I might cut my hours back at work and focus more on this. And I'd also like to give a thank you to everyone who supports this work. And I'll also link the video to another YouTuber named Joel Legace. You should also check him out. He's very educational. He really knows his stuff, and you should take him seriously and listen to him. So, yeah, that's that. And thank you, everyone. The link to my Patreon will be in the description. The link to my PDF that fully details how to build these systems. It's constantly updated, constantly evolving as I discover more things. The link to that will be in here as well. It's only $15 a month. And yeah, just thank you to everyone.